My name is Taamer Fasheh, and let's see, I ended up in Taos 10 years ago because my family from Jericho in Palestine were adobe builders. So originally I wanted to build a cob house, and I got distracted. I ended up applying to medical school, and I was in Cuba. I wanted to get a preventative medicine education, and they're really good at they teach acupuncture and herbalism at this medical school, and they give more than I think most American medical schools give 10 hours of nutrition training in their curriculums, maybe 20 hours. And so I knew that food is a major component. My father fed me salads throughout my youth. My father, I call him the salad king. So he would make Middle Eastern salads every day. He would make 2, 3 of them sometimes. And he would pretty much force them on me as a teenager. He would hand me big bowls of finely chopped, feathered, like tabulas and stuff. And he'd be like, eat this. And I would just reject it. I would always be like, I don't want the salad. It's like, it's not what I like. I didn't know what I liked though. So what I've learned is when you expose people to something that's healthy for them, and especially at night when you're a teenager and you're starved and you open their fridge and there's the 3 salads your father made, and it's like, and you go, okay, I'm hungry enough, I'll eat it. And then you start to build a taste for it. And so I realized my father's wisdom after a long time. My father has always been an advocate of health, and my mother's always been a gourmand. She loves to eat and she loves to cook, and she works here sometimes. And she's a much better chef than I am. And so I applied for a medical program at Cuba. It's called the UNM, Latin American School of Medicine, and they invite about 20 Americans per year to go to school there, tuition free. And I was 1 year over the age limit. I spent 2 years getting all my organic chemistry, physics, biologies together for the program, and I got there and I thought, they could see I'd been at it for 2 years. I started before the end of the age limit. But they said, you should go to naturopath school. And I was like, but you are the naturopath school. You offer all sorts of water therapies and the herbalism and all the stuff I mentioned earlier. They train you in acupuncture. So I opened my cafe at the same time that I was trying to get into medical school. So I ended up sticking with this. This was my backup plan, essentially. Ratsugo is a plant-based, the theme is plant-based, but I put vegetarian on the advertising, and I've kept it that way because I've always been intrigued by more of a local dairy, people having chickens, so you can get really high quality food like that. I do cooking here. I'm not averse to making like a tostada, like a Spanish style tostada. But the thing is I've stayed on the plant-based side pretty much the whole time. I've used some recipes from my past, which is like you take mustard greens, past being like Middle Eastern recipes. You mix mustard greens with yogurt. But my standard is to get like the raw stuff. You get like the raw cheese, the raw yogurts. Thing is, it's hard to source. No one really does it. Half the people who come here are vegetarian, and a quarter are, let's say, plant-based and vegan, and another quarter don't really care. They're just here to try to get their health together. So I try to keep an open mind. And the thing is cutting out meat and dairy from a person's diet is not an easy thing to do. But there are many health benefits to it. And I was inspired by some movies and from my experience over the years traveling and living in different vegan communities and vegetarian communities. I want people to come in here and get a sense of freshness, vitality, support. I want them to get a sense that when they're here, they know that if they want to try this, I'll call it a life path, because I don't believe it's the only way. It's a path people can take. And if they choose this path, one of the problems is there's very little support structure for trying to do something like this with your life. So I want them to feel that they have a place in the community that they can come back to and learn from, and also feel that it's a part of their community that they can consider as this is part of my community. This is a place that feels like home. This is a place where I can get good food and improve that they can improve their health, essentially. That if they know that they're out on the town, haven't made lunch for the day, and they're eating specifically like that, or they want to maintain a plant-based diet, or they just want something that they know is going to be good, that they can come here. And of course, that's what the cafe is for, right?